All right, we are live. What up?
What's up,
It's Mutt-Man and Dan,
my man?
and we're going to be talking about our new comic book, HIRO, HIRO, HIRO. Dan, can you remember what HIRO stands for? If not, that's okay because I can reference
Yeah,
it.
I can remember. It's Hardware Integrated Reanimation Ordinance.
Yeah, and would you mind telling the fine folks that might be watching this what that is?
Yeah, so hardware being some sort of we're in this case we'll say military electronic equipment maybe,
Right?
uh, and it's integrated with uh, something else. Also, in this case, how deep should I go into this? It's
You know what? I think we should let's just talk about our ideas because,
so we're
yeah,
integrating it with something biological, and it's basically a weapon. So it's hardware put into an organic form, and it's weaponized. So,
yeah. I mean, just to get like right down to it, basically what we're talking about is creating Frankensteins on the battlefield.
right.
We're talking about what Hero is a technology, a military technology that if a soldier goes down in a war situation in a battle, this robotic basically it's like a robot backpack, and this robotic uh, creature will roll up. Actually, it will on four legs walk up like a dog,
Like
and
those Boston Dynamics dogs.
yeah, just like that, and it
Yeah.
will attach itself to the back of the dead soldier. And then what would happen is with the Kruppen formula, which is what we're calling it, the Kruppen formula that it has inside of it, and with the biotechnology created by Dr. Kruppen, it will it will bridge itself with the consciousness of the dead person and bring that dead body back to life, so that it can continue fighting in the battle. And the reason that's important is because in this dystopian future that we're talking about, we're at war with Russia, and Russia and the United States do not want to use nuclear weapons. They're both at a standstill with nuclear options because they do not want to destroy half the planet. They want to rule half the planet.
Right.
So we are defending Russia for our freedom and for the freedom of the world. We are fighting, but we are having a losing fight. Russia's technology and uh, their efforts in the war are really paying off. They are fighting hard. We're losing ground. So the technology of HIRO is very important. But before HIRO is developed, there is a sort of a beta which is developed. And that's what's in the first couple of pages of our comic. Now, that is called the CRO unit, CRO. Do you remember what that was, Dan?
I don't know. But you're killing this, so you just keep going with it.
The crow unit. I can't remember what CRO stands for. Something
Like combat. Is it
combat reanimation ordinance?
yeah,
Maybe I don't know.
something like that? It's
But it's
military.
like HIRO before HIRO. HIRO is more developed and it's more sophisticated.
This is a
Uh,
laser version of HIRO. It's
yeah,
not. It's not
Crow is a crude version of HIRO.
absolutely.
And so what Crow does, what that device does, is it will do the same thing, reanimate using the Kruppen formula, but because of the biotechnological system that it has in it, it doesn't work very well, and it basically uses rage as its main emotional function in battle.
Right.
And that can cause the warrior, the Frankenstein warrior, to be somewhat erratic and somewhat dangerous. And that is why Kruppen is working hard to develop the HIRO, which is the better solution. So what we've got a bunch of terms and we've got a bunch of ideas, but we got to put it down in a comic book format and a storyline format and we got to get it to where it's interesting enough to read, and really read on a 10-year-old level, 12-year-old level. So today we're going to be working on some dialogue. So let me show you what we had before. This is kind of what Dan and I started with. And hold on just a second while I switch.
Yeah, this is going to be embarrassing and interesting too.
It'll be good, and it's good.
It's good. So,
all right, Dan, can you see my screen?
I can see it. So
right.
This is cool because you can see the date when we started, 2015, and we were talking in the last video about where we started from. Like, we didn't know what we were doing, and this is a perfect example of not knowing, but having the idea and starting to put it down, but not knowing how to format it in a way that is gonna work for the artist getting this, or however we're doing it, for the artist to look at it and be able to put it down. So this is just my my craziness coming out of my head. It's too much words. It's too much detail, probably. But it was a good start, and I didn't know, but I'm still proud of all the stuff that I put down.
Yeah, you wrote a book, man. I mean, that's basically what you did, and I gave you a book back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, here's my feedback, and we're basically just sitting at our computers typing away. But this does not translate very well to comic book scripting. So, hey, we're noobs. That's what we're saying, and we're definitely learning, though. So we've got a story. We basically have developed a narrative, and this is just for the first couple pages right here.
Yep.
But within the narrative, now we've got to go in, and I'll show you where we're at now with our preview. Here's our cover. I've actually developed more of this cover, but we'll show that at a different video. And then, here's the first page of the story. So what we have to do here, Dan, is we got to set up, what's happening here in chapter 1, and we've got these 2 spaces to do it. Now, we've kind of been walking through this in what's called the Marvel method, where we have a story and a plot, and we've even got dialogue. But what we do is we go through, and it's kind of an artist first method. So we draw everything out. You can see we've drawn out our pages. We've developed a PDF here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go in, and we're going to type in some words. And we're going to use, this is Adobe Acrobat. We're just going to use the comment function. Actually, we could do it like this.
I only accept Comic Sans.
You're a crude individual. I mean, just so crude.
If you put Comic Sans on somebody,
I literally have Comic Sans, so I hope you're happy. That's embarrassing.
God, so good. Somebody's gonna watch this video one day and be like, "Oh God."
All right, so we got to start out here. I'm just going to start typing because I feel like if we treat it too precious with these words, we're going to get hung up. So
cool. So let's just hit it. So this is that's Crouppen. We see his bloodshot, wrinkly face, and he is getting ready to initiate the crow for the first time, right? So is on this heading, are you looking for? Is this like an intro heading, or are you?
This right here, this little box was meant to sort of start off your. We had talked about having sort of a story backdrop and then kind of a narration tone as well, but we're using word balloons the whole way through. So this design can be changed to where it's just a big header that talks about what's going on. I just have 2 boxes for whatever reason. I think we did that because we were trying to, figure out what we wanted to do. But like I said, we're not going to treat it too precious. So I'll just go in here and we'll just make it one thing. So this is so ugly. Look at this Comic Sans. That is so freaking ugly. It's the future. And like I said, we're not being precious right now. We're just trying to get our dialogue started. We can always go back. And this is like the dialogue, you can go back and continually massage it until you get it right.
Yeah, it's the future. Russia and the United States are at war.
Many lives have been lost. Many lives have been lost. The need for more soldiers has brought us to this point. Neither side wants a nuclear solution. Russia wants to rule Russia wants to rule and U.S. wants freedom, not nuclear winter. Here we have a biomechanic genius about to change the war, about to change the course of this war. All right.
Cool. Perfect.
So moving on down, we're going to start our dialogue. Do we have anything coming in right here, word balloon wise, Dan?
I don't think so. Like it's just like this splash page was just supposed to be, he is you see what's happening in his glasses. It's supposed to be, you can kind of, you don't need to hear anything or see, or sorry, you don't need to read anything.
Okay.
You're going to get it on this next panel where Marsh is literally spitting mad because Crouppen hasn't delivered what he needs. And I think, like, from memory, it was kind of, I was writing it like, like the Joint Chiefs or whoever, whatever government body we need to make are breathing down my neck. Get this freak show on the road or something like that,
All right. Crouppen, the Joint Chiefs are breathing.
Or it doesn't have to be that. That's pretty cliche.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's the gist of the Joint Chiefs. Yeah. The Joint Chiefs are not waiting anymore. And I would say something like, do you want nuclear war?
Yeah.
Right. So basically, we're learning there's a lot on this. There's a lot at stake here.
Right.
Right. And so then he's going to say, let's see. Or should I give the keys to this hot rod to our to your little friend Perez?
I feel like he needs to be slightly more condescending, like,
okay, yeah,
like Wheels or something. Wheels with a Z.
Keys to the wheels? Is that what you mean?
No, I was saying, like, calling Perez Wheels or something. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's good. And you're really mean. That's funny that you thought of that. And we've got that. Everybody that's listening right now or in the future knows that you came up with that.
Yeah, that's fine. But I'll own it. I'll own it. but I think what we got to establish here is that like Marsh has always been type A quarterback,
Yeah.
you know, prom king hero, and he doesn't care who he has to push around to get what he wants. He needs to get what he wants, and belittling people makes him feel big.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
perfect.
Yeah, and then then we're going to say something. I think right here it's basically I cannot overstate, and he may not talk like this, but basically I cannot overstate the importance of you figuring this out. You know, and we're not trying to develop the voice of the character yet.
Sure.
I mean, we kind of, you know, we've talked about Marsh and what kind of person he is, but I think as we move through it, we will figure out Marsh's voice.
Right.
You know? But for now, we just need to start seeing how dialogue is going to play out, like with space. You know, like you know, how can we tell this story within the space and boundaries that we've got?
Right.
So I don't think there's any words in this panel, but I think there are words here.
Yeah, there's something there. You know, he can just basically here, he can just be like, you know.
We had some dialogue. You had given some really good dialogue in that Word document for this. You said the AI, it's not ready.
Yeah.
It never completes a full neural bridge. It wakes up the primal part of the brain. It can't be. And then he's like, if you will not start the experiment, I'm sure Dr. Tannen will be happy to do what I ask. I think, and we got names in here that we've changed.
Yeah, that Tannen is now Perez.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right, so basically this little section right here, it's not ready. It never completes. It does complete the neural bridge, but they only wakes up. Is not completing the neural bridge waking up the primal part of the brain? Is that how it works in your mind?
Maybe, like, man, it's been I need to like go through and really dig into this again. But so like I guess the neural bridge is complete. So maybe what we should say is, you know, the AI is not complete. Or maybe instead of, you know, like put that in there for now. I think it's totally fine for right now, and we could run with that. But like you're saying, it gets the gist across. We don't need to be perfect.
Right. The AI is not complete. General. We need to help the audience see who this is. General.
Yeah.
The AI is not complete.
Like I think the neural bridge isn't completing because he's saying it's only getting to like 58%. I think later in that that file, like it's never fully completing, and so it's stopping at the most useful part of the brain matter, or you know what the Crow unit is determining is the most useful part, and that's rage, because it's the quickest way to power.
Right.
You know, it's not tapping into the full potential. It's just stopping at the highest potential and leaving, you know, letting it take over there.
About something like that.
Yeah, sure. That's good.
Okay. All right. So basically, then the general here is just going to be like, oh, here it is. The general is going to set this one up and say, really don't care. Test is ready. Let's do this.
Sure.
No, we just need to see that we're going. And then I think right here we need something to kind of like set up narration.
Okay.
And we can just kind of set it up maybe over here on the side, or I don't know, maybe we can figure out a better way, but as Dr. Crouppen obeys his superior, test begins with a how would you describe, if you're going to be flowery, not that we have to be precious about it, but give me an adjective to describe this thing that's lowering from the wall.
Yeah.
Insect-like.
Yeah, it could. Yeah.
Yeah, with an insect-like. That's weird. We'll have to go back and fix this one. But what I want to do is establish that we need an adjective here to describe the craziness of this thing.
Right. Yeah.
Being lowered onto an ominous carcass below.
Carcass is a great word.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
it's not great. I know it's not great.
Yeah, we'll work on that. That's fine.
Yep. So then, okay, so then you can see like what's happening here, and I think we get.
Do you have any yeah, it's going to be some sort of like computer or narration, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that computer narration.
Yeah. Because it was pretty in that Word doc I sent. I even typed it out like, it's like whatever neural interface, connecting.
Let's see. Yeah, neural bridge holding it. No, that's after.
That's neural bridge. Spinal flux infusion completed. Neural bridge at 30%. The corpse. Yeah, that's kind of like I think I had Crouppen saying like this is like computer shows Crow Mark whatever 18 or something like that.
Right.
But it was we were Crouppen was saying these things or Perez is saying things to move the story along, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be the computer cursor moving,
Yeah. Let's just kind of put in that stuff that you wrote, and then let's see if we can kind of marry it in somehow, because I like the idea of that.
Yeah, it's right there. It says starting neural bridge, spinal flux infusion completed.
Where is it?
So at the bottom of that page in red, right beside that, it says computer shows.
Oh yeah.
Whatever 18. Whatever
right.
that is. And then the next page is where Crouppen to Leoff starting neural bridge, like that could all be computer speak right there.
Yeah.
It just goes to neural bridge 30%, and then it says corpse opens its head sideways, focuses a little too quickly on the general behind the ballistic glass.
Yeah, we'll get to that part.
In bridge, yeah, blah blah blah.
So let's start with this. Starting neural bridge, spinal flux infusion complete, and then we go.
Neural bridge at 30%.
Yeah, we probably should break this up.
Yeah.
The corpse opens its eyes, so that's definitely.
Yeah, all the way down to there. Yep, perfect.
So we're kind of doing three. It's almost like we're doing three segments like this, right?
Yep, perfect.
neural bridge at 30%, neural bridge at 53%, spinal flux energized. You can see that.
Yeah.
And then we move down to the neural bridge. Why don't you kind of explain what that is?
All right. So in thinking about this, I had to, I guess I wanted to figure out how this this thing, the Crow unit, was connecting to the host, I guess, and so I started. We kind of went down a dark rabbit hole of like looking at these weird things. Like there's a lot of weird Nazi experiment stuff, you know, and I started thinking like, you know, what's words marrying things together, and so I was digging through the thesaurus, and like flux is a word, and bridge is a word that is putting things together. Like, you know, flux is something you use in welding. It's helps join the metal together, and bridge is gonna be something that's taking you from one place to another. So I thought this unit has to inject something into the spine to kind of like act as a pathway for its impulses to control the body. And then the neural bridge, basically, since it's burrowing something right into the back of the head, into the brain, it's bridging its computer brain with the host's like organic brain. And so, yeah, just kind of playing with the words until stuff stuck together and felt right in a way that I don't, you know, probably hasn't been used before. And yeah, just it needs to sound clinical. It needs to sound kind of military, and it needs to sound, you know, futuristic or creepy or whatever. I don't know.
Well, I just think it's just super cool.
Yeah.
We definitely can't. When we were talking about it, we were like, this is the terminology that's the hook for the whole story.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
You know, the combination of technology and then like the formula, you know, the biology and the technology come together, and that's what's happening. Is there's a neural bridging, and that's why this is so important in the crux of the story. That's why it gets a splash page all its own.
Yep.
Because this is extremely important.
Yep.
And so it could be that we highlight its importance by doing something like this. Neural bridge, and then we could just put what, like 75%?
Yeah, whatever. And I gotta say, I'm digging the crackle and the your spin on that. It's good.
I want to go actually, like, I guess I've got the same problem that a lot of artists have, is the more you look at it, the more you just want to like change it,
Tweak it. Yeah.
I would like to actually go in and make this a little less drastic and a little bit more painterly.
Okay.
And I feel a lot more confident now. When I did this one, I was using a Wacom tablet that I wasn't. I mean, I was using one of those that you look at the screen and you draw on the Wacom tablet.
Sure. Yeah.
And now with my new Wacom, it's a lot easier to get more painterly strokes. So I would like to go back and kind of fix that up a little bit. But anyway, moving on. This is a speechless. I think, yeah, it's pretty obvious what's going on here. But then here, we got to start talking about the creature.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you know, this is where that Word document starts to fail us, I think, and where I got off track. I don't know if I got off track or if I was just putting the story together visually in a way that went away from the original work. But we're at a place where we need to start kind of following the visual story.
Cool.
So let's see. The creature begins to stir, and then its reanimated body reacts to what?
I'd say like to the presence of yeah.
New life.
Yeah, that's fine. I thought in this scenario, it was. You ever seen what is it like? Not 28 Days Later. What's it? Yeah, is it 28 days? No, first.
28 Days Later is amazing.
Or is that the one? What's the zombie one with the rage?
28 Days Later is a zombie movie.
Yeah, yeah. So, all right, 28 Days Later. So that it's the rage zombies and they're fast and they see you and then they're after you.
Yeah.
And I thought it's one, the Crow unit is 100% tapped into rage right now, and that is what it's not trying to go for brains, right? But it is trying to rip apart whatever.
Yeah.
Way.
Right. This thing is finding an enemy.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Perfect. That's exactly what it's doing. It's finding an enemy.
Okay. Let's do that. Do new life. And with its new life, it begins to ask. I'm a ... And this is where we were kind of enjoying this little phrase here.
Yeah.
What in the world? What am I?
Right.
And then I'm gonna say, even as it begins to realize its own newfound existence, or even as it begins to realize its newfound life, it immediately begins to hate the one who gave it. And then he's like, what am I? And he's punching this glass. And this glass is like, this is like military grade, half a foot thick.
I feel like that this is the mark whatever 18. I can't even remember what Roman numerals I put. So that there's been issues before, and that there's been so many issues. That's why Kruppen is like dedicated to doing it differently, because this is what the government wants.
Yeah,
they want a killing machine, and
right.
He wants to perfect it for other not just to create a killing machine, but to make a fully fleshed out,
fully realized.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, yeah. Kruppen has seen this before.
Yeah,
and this is General Marsh has probably not at this point experienced this.
Right.
And so he's looking at this rage monster, and he's thinking, "Oh my gosh, this thing is ridiculous."
Right.
And so, what do you think here? Like, I think we need to probably clue in the reader on why this thing is happening like this.
Yeah, I think I might have written some stuff about I mean, basically, so it is losing it. It's it is 100% enraged with everything. So it's trying to get to Marsh. It hit that the wall, and it knows it's not going to do it. All right, let's see. What does it say? So yeah, this one it looks like he's saying like the AI must be learning. It's trying to circumvent or fail. So like the AI in the Crow unit, it's been woken up 18 times before, and it keeps trying to mesh with these human brains, and it gets to the rage part and it faults, and then it goes haywire.
Okay. All right. Knowing what you know. Knowing what you know, let's word it out.
It's hard to. I don't even know in like those 3 panels underneath where it's hitting the glass.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like them even with no words, because the thing is like it's grabbing its head. It's like feeling that tentacle going into its brain.
Right.
losing it, and then it's like, like it sees that the little orb on the ceiling, the little camera, and it wants out, like it's trying to get out. I don't know if do we need anything hard in this, do you think, or what?
I don't know. I mean, maybe we don't need any words. I think I think you kind of know visually what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I want people to know like what this is, because this I think gets a little confusing.
Yeah, I know it's hard to draw that.
Yeah, it
I mean,
is.
it doesn't even it doesn't have to be that. I mean,
There can be something else. Maybe it's a.
I mean, it's obviously something he's trying to use to get out. So,
well, let's just do this. Let's say this is a.
the creature spots.
Okay.
But no, don't do that.
It sees a way out.
Yeah, that's all you need to even say, I think.
Well, I want to say it like, and it begins to think.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like that.
So then over here, you're going to say, then you're going to say,
maybe something about its strength, because it's
with
unnatural,
with unnatural ease, it jumps to the ceiling.
Yeah.
And attaches to the weakest.
I don't know if not attaches.
How about this? It jumps to the ceiling and attacks the weakest part of the.
Yeah, attacks is good.
Basically, it's in rage mode. I mean, that's what it does,
Yeah, it's attacking the weakest link. Perfect.
It attacks the weakest link.
Yeah, fine.
Right. So then Crouppen, he's like, shut it down now. Right.
Yeah, like, I mean, shut it down now. Like, I like that's in these big, bold letters and stuff. Like, doesn't need to have.
Well, I think you got to say what the like. I think the reason that bubble's there.
He's getting into the ceiling or something like that. Or
yeah. If he gets into the ceiling, let's see. How's that?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So then,
this is where he's like, "Oh, we got to migrate the server. We got to."
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So he's yelling at Perez.
Yeah.
Perez, I'm migrating the server. Get that EMP ready.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you would have time to even say.
Yeah, it's fine.
He sees it, like you can see he's getting close.
Yeah.
And I think before when we were talking, we just had Perez, who's kind of a cool personality. He's just like, say when.
Yeah, exactly. That's all he needs. I love it. Yep.
Say when, and then he's like, almost there.
Yeah,
right
there.
It's a pretty intense scene, isn't it? Really?
I love it.
Even now, I'm kind of like feeling the intensity of it. So hopefully, this translates that way for readers.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, say when. He's like,
almost there.
Is it almost there, or is he like
something like that?
Is he like stand by?
Yeah, sure.
Stand by. He says when.
Yeah.
Click. And I've already got the sound effects drawn in here, so no words needed. So then basically the Crow unit is shut down immediately by the EMP.
Yeah, it's an electronic device, so it's not shielded.
Right.
It's not shielded for this exact reason.
exactly. It's available to the EMP for the safety precaution.
Right.
So then he goes down, boom. Marsh steps over and oh crap. Where am I at? Oh yeah, for some reason I had this giant page. I don't know why. But yeah, Marsh is here. He's looking over the body. Is this a wordless thing? I feel like we got so much room for storytelling right here. We should use it.
Like I feel like that it doesn't even, I don't know. It's almost wordless, but at the same time, I almost want him to be like kind of a what the heck was
Yeah.
like, you know, like
Yeah, like Fine. This guy's name is Fine.
yeah, right.
And he's just like, what was that?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And then Perez is like, you know, Perez just says, dude. I mean, maybe it's not that, but
I like him having few words and just being like straight up cool about everything that's happening.
Yeah.
like he's seen some stuff and it's not bothering him.
Right. And I think right here, I think that our man Crouppen, he goes into explanation mode, right?
Yeah.
And then Marsh is like, he says something like, well, that was not a successful test. You know, he's kind of calm, even though he's raging inside, you know?
Yeah. He's, that's when that's scary. That's scary anger when you're calm. You expect people to yell, but when they're calm about it,
yeah,
that's when they're dangerous. All right.
Yeah. So anyway, I think he says general, and I think he like just starts to go into it. He's like, general, have to understand.
Yeah, and just leave it.
It's like that.
Leave it like that.
Well, he's goes into his explanation here, and I think this is our opportunity to say what in the world's going on, because really we've got pretty few words so far.
Yeah.
So this is we need a little bit of dialogue space.
Yeah.
You know. So you have to understand, for the neural bridge to work, for the neural bridge to
I thought I'd written something about how he tries to explain to Marsh. This is after the go up. Maybe not. Maybe I didn't write anything in that.
Yeah.
Going back down a little bit more. Yeah, it looks like it was. So yeah, what I wrote after, I basically wrote between Crouppen and Perez was the explanation, not to Marsh, which I should probably have. Yeah, he should probably explain to Marsh.
Okay. Let's see. He's basically saying it can learn. It did learn.
Yeah.
But we know that about it already. We see that about it already. I think here it says, but access a biological supercomputer in the form of a brain. Remember, we are limited to about 10%. Death may be the answer, whatever mental and physical barriers that are stops and applicable to the And then it acted like a wild animal. Its strength, the spinal flux enhances the subject. This is good writing, man. I mean, I like it. I just wish we had more space. I think we've got enough space to get in here and do some of this.
Yeah.
So, like, I like this part. It has to access a biological supercomputer in the form of the brain. We are limited to about 10% access. I like that part, and I think that we can kind of use that.
Cool.
You have to understand.
Yeah.
Right? 10% access. And then basically right here, what we need to do is kind of switch gears from what you'd written before and say, the computer is accessing the rage, is accessing the rage center of the cerebral to engage fighting protocols.
Okay, sure.
And like I said, we can change it.
Yeah, we can work on that. Yeah, that's fine.
And then, okay, that's his explanation. And then you got Crouppen, or then you got Marsh, and Marsh is like, excuses. No. Excuses. And this is where he's kind of like dangling the sort of carrot out in front of him, and then where we start to learn a little bit more about Crouppen's situation. We pulled you out of that godforsaken
gulag,
commie hellhole, and this. Let's see. And this is how you repay.
Yeah.
And then, you know, come over here. And he's going to let him have it.
Yeah.
Don't think for a second.
He could be like, people are dying.
Yeah, and he's like, that's why he's mad. His
people are dying.
People are dying.
We're at the edge of the like the precipice or whatever. I don't know how you even spell that.
Precipice. I like that. We're on the precipice. Precipice. That's not right. We'll figure it out. Precipice.
Yeah.
Of total destruction.
Yeah.
And then I think he said, and then I think we've got to say, you have 5 days to get this circus turned into
freak show.
Yeah, get this. Yeah. You want to say Frankenstein freak show?
Yeah, anything. That's perfect.
You have 5 days to get this Frankenstein freak show turned into a viable United States war weapon.
Got bodies on ice, and we need them back in the field.
We got bodies on ice, and I need those soldiers back.
Yeah.
On the battlefield.
Because that's telling the reader, like, they're all in on this. Like, this is they're looking at this as like last hope.
Yeah.
And they've got bodies waiting.
Yeah.
To just be turned into weapons. Because it's pretty gruesome, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, and then he's kind of leaving him with some parting words here. Just, oh my gosh. For some reason, this is a giant page. I don't know why.
Oh, you're gonna have to go like 72. There you go.
Let's do 36. Okay. Just remember. What's his sister's name again?
Oh, Nina.
Just remember. Nina.
Like I feel like he should say something. It's not necessarily blackmail, but it's almost blackmail. Like remember like Nina needs her medicine. Not she didn't need her medicine, but like Nina needs her whatever.
Yeah. How about this? Just remember, Nina needs you to be successful here too.
Or somebody needs to take care of Nina, or something like that.
Who is going to protect her when
you're gone, or something, or when you're
who's going to protect her when
maybe
when those commie boots hit the street,
or maybe the Kremlin would love to have her back, or something like that.
Yeah, that's good. I'm sure the Kremlin
there you go.
would love to have her back for some interrogation.
Or for a visit or something, like I like when people use polite phrasing like that, but it's for it's the motive is not polite.
Right. All right, so I'm kind of running out of time here, so we need to wrap up what we're doing.
Yeah.
So then I think he does say something here, and I think it's I think he just reiterates. He just says 5 days, right?
Yep.
36. Oop. 5 days, and then old Fine gives a sinister look.
Yep.
And that door slams. And I think we don't need any dialogue right there, do we?
No, that's fine. Those two panels are fine the way they are. And then this is where Krupin and Perez.
This is where we need some dialogue that helps the reader understand a little bit more about why this thing is a failure right now.
Right. Yeah.
So just for the sake of time, I'm just going to write in here. I'm going to write in here scientific
mumbo jumbo
review statement, right? And then I'm going to put here. I'm going to put a scientific response and and statement about. Actually, you know what? Maybe we don't need that here.
He's already explained why it didn't work, but he needs to.
Yeah, he needs to say, like, Perez needs to say something about, what they got to do.
Right.
They because they do make
worried too.
Huh?
Perez is worried too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's think on that a little bit, because I think that needs to be a pretty smart statement. So we need to kind of think about it.
Yeah.
And then the scientific response, and then I think a statement about his sister.
Yep.
His sister's situation, and then I think he's going to say. I think we want to establish that he's like, but I've got it under control.
Yeah.
right? Because this guy's a Tony Stark. I mean, he is crafty.
And we need to allude to the fact that things are going to happen. That not like just like he is all consumed in this.
I'm gonna say 5 days is enough. I've got it under control.
Yep. Cool.
Right. Okay. So then he's a little overconfident there, as we'll find out later on. But so then let's see. In this last page. Okay. So, wow, you look like crap. That's kind of funny, right?
Totally needs to stay there. It needs a little bit of humor somewhere.
Yeah. And then Crouppen gets in the car and he's like, he's just like, oh my gosh, just get me home, Boone.
Yeah.
I gotta change the humongous.
I noticed that when I looked at the PDF earlier today, I was like, why is this one page?
I don't know. And I'd really tried to figure it out. There's just a huge JPEG in there or something. It's crazy. All right, just get me home, Boone. And then he goes, and then he kind of gets into it a little bit with Boone, and he says, like right here, he's talking to Boone, and you realize that Boone's kind of in on it.
Yeah.
So he needs to say something like,
he needs to drop casually that they like something that is not ordinary to say to someone like your driver.
Your driver, right? Your driver / bodyguard.
Well, all we know is that he's opened the door for him and gotten into the car at this point. So,
yeah.
You know, do you still have like, are we still running low on like, I don't know, with some like with like syringes? I don't know. Something plain enough that people are going to get it.
I think we just say something like, say, well, bought us some time. Not a lot, but I think we can handle it. You know, like they're planning here. You know.
Okay, sure, yeah. All right.
So he goes, I think I bought us some time, and I'll just say here. I'll say, not a lot. Then
yeah, I kind of like that because it shows it shows an ulterior motive to Crouppen.
Yeah,
I like it.
So then in this one, he's going to say, he keeps alluding to my sister. And then we're going to step in here with Big Mac Daddy Boone, and he's going to be like, you know, he's going to say something like, if your sister is half as smart as you say, she's already got that dude figured out.
Yeah.
We'll get her back. We'll get her back. And this war will be over soon.
That we'll need to work on, obviously.
Yeah. We want to establish Boone as he's in on it. He's loyal.
And he's the optimist in the relationship, I feel like.
Yeah, he comes from a tough spot. So this is not like I mean, even though it's kind of like close to the end of the world,
Right.
he somehow manages to live in this space pretty well.
Right.
So yeah, so you know, and then moving forward, you know, the next, well, we don't have the next page yet, but the next page is basically going to be like where to, and then they're going to go. You're going to see like the last splash page is going to be them at a graveyard.
Right. The last splash ready to go. Hopefully that hooks enough to get people to want to fund us for the full 48 page or 2-part series or whatever.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah,
Now, do you think that instead of like, because we were kind of thinking like a little bit more like old school horror with that, but do you think it might be more interesting for the last panel to be uh, just them going into his home operating area, and then seeing like just Boone carrying a obviously wrapped up body, and then seeing pictures of like the new HIRO unit on the table?
Yeah, I think it has to. I'm not opposed to that at all, but I almost think it needs to be something, not not shocking negatively, but shocking enough to be like, what the heck is that?
Uh-huh.
It needs to be some. I mean, I don't want to be that book that drops cliffhangers every time, but the first issue, it should hook the reader, I would hope, into wanting a little bit more, right?
Right. Right.
Something that is a shock. Like I said, it doesn't have to be negative. It just needs to be um, enough of a jolt to like want more. Like, uh, and we're talking about a splash page, right? So like it could be like, so I kind of like the idea of Boone standing there, like Boone is built like a, you know, like a brick wall. Like he's a big dude. He's he's a brawler, right? He's built for that kind of thing. And he's like this like big muscular Boone, and he's like holding this body, and it could maybe even like the arms hanging out or something like that. And you could see, like, I like your idea of maybe having something to do with the HIRO unit somewhere. So maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like we're doing a book about this HIRO, right? It's kind of like RoboCop meets Pinocchio,
Right.
you know? And we don't want to leave the first issue without showing the main character.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta like the cliffhanger should involve the HIRO unit. Like we've seen the Crow unit, right? We know how dangerous it can be.
Right.
And now at the end, we need to show. I feel like we need to show the HIRO unit.
Okay.
So I feel like you know, I think maybe Boone says something here um, like, you know, by the way, I've got the package in the trunk.
You could, and you know, I mean, we want to do some sort of splash page, right? But you could do, like, so on this page, the first panel where he's standing there at the car, like
Yeah.
you could do a panel that big, and then the rest of the whole page could be kind of more, uh, you know, it wouldn't be a full splash, but like you could have like something, yeah, I don't know, like you could have one of those, that shocking moment, and then the big thing, the big panel there at the bottom could be used for, yeah, like I guess the introduction of the HIRO of HIRO.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking too.
Cool.
All right. So yeah, this is good, man. We'll save this.
20-minute video.
Right on. And we will we'll end this one with just a, you know, oh crap.
I know you're happy to see that I'm back on Twitter.
Yeah, back on Twitter finally.
Back
You
on
know.
Twitter, got 0 likes, got 0 retweets, other than from my man, Mutt-Man, who
Yeah,
hit me
that's.
up at MJ Williams Designs.
I'm the only friend you got on Twitter that gives a crap about what you're tweeting.
The only one.
And
That's
you know what? And,
all I
and
need is
dude, Twitter is not easy, man. Like you put out some stuff you think is good, and it's just nobody sees it. It's a dumpster fire. You're throwing like gold into a dumpster fire, and people are like, they may or may not be willing to get into the stream to figure that out.
yeah. I mean, there's so much stuff that I see that I could care less about, but it's nothing that has a lot of likes, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who you got to sell what to get there, but
Yeah. Well, I think what we got to do is put out a book, man. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, having a product and having a place for people to go and see the product. These videos are fun because we can just work through the process together. We can do it on a live stream and enjoy it. And if people get to see it and get something out of it, cool. If not, that's fine too.
yep.
At the end of this, we are going to have a comic book, and it is going to have our names on it, and we are going to produce something that we think is really cool. So.
Yep.
All right. On that note, I'm gonna say hasta la vista, baby.
Uh, cool, man. Well, have a good night.
Yeah.
Times. We'll do this again soon. I hope if the one person that's out there watching, you're while we're doing this.
That's right. It's all about you.
It's all about you.
Later.
See you, man.